previously on Big Brother.
That's important to take note of. Oh my god, our first hug. I think he's apologizing for not throwing the comp because he definitely won that thing. I would have to say this is the most flirty season we've done so far. Probably just forgot. I am sorry, what? Everybody is flirting with everybody. But that's 1 vote Penny, 1 vote Corey, which means it's 2 votes Jay, 1 vote Penny, 3 votes against Jay, and 1 vote against Penny, which means you have been voted out of the Big Brother house. 2 of the house heads are voted out. This is channel. I'm Jacob. Jacob is here, and today we're playing the next episode of Big Brother, or the HoH Comp for week 3. I'm very excited. I will mention there is a 24-hour live feed link down below where you can see this entire HoH competition play out in full, as I'm sure it's going to last many hours. So it's linked down below in case you guys want to see that. There's little to no edits except for Noms Ceremonies, veto ceremonies, and or a victory. Also, before we jump into this, let's go ahead and jump into the game and explain to the house guests of how they're going to compete. So Cameron, as he is the outgoing HoH, he is free to roam everywhere. I've opened up the backyard. He can literally do anything. He can watch the competition if he so desires. If he wants to go play, like he wants to go watch TV, whatever he wants to do, he can do. It's his choice, his life. With Dawn, Corey, Johnny, Katarina, and Penny, they are all competing for their lives. For me personally, this is an endurance competition. So I had this idea while we were watching the one where they hold the button. I can't think what that one's called off the top of my head, but it was like a really fun competition. It lasted for like 18 hours in the game this year. Ooh, how can we do an endurance competition in Big Brother like Sims 4 edition? And you stick all the Sims in a room. That's what you do, Jacob. And I know that now. So that's what we're doing. I don't know how long it's going to last. Everybody has a little bit of different needs and stuff. And the way this works, their hunger and energy, if it gets depleted into red, they automatically have to go out because they can die from these two things. You know, they don't get enough of it. And so they'll automatically get evicted from the room. That means they're out of the competition. The last person standing in this room, the person to win HoH. Now, the only problem here is I can't see everybody's needs immediately type of thing. So this will always be popped up in the corner and things. I'm actually thinking that for this competition, I'm going to put myself up here just because I'm going to move myself up here in this corner. Hi. It just, I think, will make the most sense. And so you guys can see which sim I'm on the entire time type of thing. And their needs will pop up here in the corner and we'll circuit throughout them. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the competition. I'm going to do it on 2. They can talk, they can game, whatever they want to do. Like I said, I'm just going to occasionally go through these. All came in with different levels. I would like to mention Katarina already looks like she has to go to the bathroom. They can pee themselves, I don't care. Don looks like he's doing okay in some regards. Penny holding strong so far. Katarina is going through it. Johnny also looks like he's doing pretty strong, so it looks like Penny and Johnny. For me personally, I feel like the Sims I went to win the competition today, and I'm curious to see what the week would look like, would have to be anywhere between Johnny or Katarina. I'm just curious to see what their allies are like. Oh my god, Corey like fell. I felt like she was pretty stable, and then boom, gone. Corey will be the first one out, guys. Hopefully her allies win. It could be Dawn next. Because I was thinking like putting toilets in here, but then again, oh, she peed herself. I only hope that it doesn't affect conversations. Still in the yellow. Alright, our first evicted from the house. Or evicted. She lasted, I think we started at 10 o'clock. I'll check. Jacob will put it on the screen how long each person lasted, and how many hours and stuff, because it's all down here in things. So Corey will be the first one out. Alright, Dawn is also pretty red, but it's only like his hunger is not that bad. Penny still looks very strong. Looks like she is going to do a good last scene. Katarina is also really good on like energy levels. Oh, see like Dawn. Okay, Penny. Oh, Penny is officially just like Corey did. Corey dropped real class, real fast. And Johnny is also, oh my god, who is it? Oh, this is so interesting. Okay, he's almost there. He can pass out, that's fine. He does have a red plum bulb though. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave Katarina alone on my selection tool down here. And we're just gonna jump between Dawn, Penny, and Johnny, because I would say those are the closest one. Okay, he is out, but his hunger is still not in the red, so he's fine. He is lasting. They are holding on for dear life, but they are lasting. I'd say the competition's probably been running for about 12 hours, so good for everybody who's made it this far. Corey obviously was out pretty early. Don's hunger is just not dropping super duper low. He's officially peed himself. Not good for him. But I think by the end of the conversation, they're all going to pee themselves, so I guess it really does not matter. I think Katarina has a strong shot at winning this. I'm not going to lie to you. Johnny Zest is the next one eliminated. Dawn is officially out. Let me check Penny and Katarina. Alright, it's going to be between the two girls, guys. Between Penny and Katarina. Whoever's hunger. So, I do have to say, I think Katarina has a more higher chance of winning this. Katarina has officially, once again, everybody made it to jury. Katarina is the new HoH. I'm really curious to see what her reign will look like. And then we will be back to see what happens between now and tomorrow. Who she puts up. Obviously, my advice for the entire household is conversate. Please do talk to Katarina. That being said, I'll see you guys all in 1 second. Hi, if I look different, it's because the last part ended up cutting out on me right before nomination. So we are starting right after the HoH competition, the winner obviously being Katarina, and then also the two have-nots being Corey and Dawn. And I fixed the rooms, so Corey and Dawn are now in here, and then Katarina has the upstairs HoH room without any type of TV. The TV will be brought back in after the veto competition because they don't have to worry about talking about to Katarina for the rest of the week, so she can have a little bit of fun. We'll also put it in her best friends, whoever those might be. I might know a little bit more information, but it could change because we still have 2 days before Noms. So yeah, so let's see what Katarina looks like. Obviously, the first obvious question I think we all should be asking is the question one. I wonder where she aligns. We have a brief idea based on previous moments inside the house and stuff, but because we are down to jury and stuff, I mean, in everybody's game, my best wish for everybody in this game is get along, get to know people. You know, the more you know, the better it will be ultimately. And that's just because, like, the people, this is how you're going to win. Okay, so, like, logically speaking here, I'm trying to figure out what side of the house that she's on. So she could be offended and hurt that she was kicked out of the room last week by Cameron. And so Cameron could be an obvious target. Cameron is a comp beast. Cameron and Johnny, I'd say, are the two most people who've won the most comps, this game. So I'd say if Johnny does go up or Cameron does go up, which might happen, might not happen, I'd say there's not like a lot of people who are close, like a lot of people in the house. We have our groups, we have like our alliances and stuff, and that's about it. It might not even be the case, like as much as I want it to be the case or I think it might be the case. It might not be. That's kind of crazy. I'm so excited Katarina won though. Not that here's the issue. I have other people who I want to see win the game, right? I'd say right now my favorites are Corey and Penny. I'd say Corey is probably my number one, and then Penny is a close behind second. Not because I just don't know much about Katarina. Katarina is a pretty unknown character to me. I'd say people I don't want to win, Cameron, maybe Dawn. I don't feel like they need to win. I'd be okay with Katarina. I'd also be okay with Johnny because, like, in my head, Johnny's in here to prove a point to his parents. And so, like, it's kind of fun if he, did win just because he's here to prove that point. But that's, like, in my head. Like, that's, like, the lore that I'm going with. So, it's gonna be like maybe there's a conversation going on there. Katarina and Dawn are talking. They look pretty close. Johnny and Penny are talking. You have a few duos in here. Penny and Johnny would be a duo. Penny and Corey would also be a duo. You would think that maybe Penny and Dawn, but actually Penny and Dawn actually have a pretty, I feel like, not great relationship, interestingly enough. We do have a few, like I said, duos running around, and so those might be a good opportunity to get them out pretty early on before we jump into more extensive competitions and stuff. Johnny has his fingers in just about everybody, I feel like just a little bit, just like it's just like the tiny bit of fingers, not like in deep in the pockets, but like it's a little bit crazy to me. A lot of people are tired. Once again, that comp really fucked up with a lot of people's needs and stuff, which made sense. It's an endurance comp. I feel like it would take a few days for people to recover. The only thing being, this is the House of Big Brother. It's a never-ending move. And it's good to have allies, but it's also good to talk to the HoH. Oh, is Penny going out there to talk to Johnny? I bet you anything. Okay, so they're talking. It's interesting. It's like, it's a lot of the same exact... Oh, see, that's an interesting little dynamic. And breaking off to talk game, probably. Yet they don't really have a lot to say. Karina hasn't really moved away to talk to individually, so once again, I really don't know where she's at. She talked to Dawn a lot, so I feel like, just like this conversation going right now, I feel like Dawn's probably like, alright, who's the target? Who are you going after? Like, what's the plan? What's the deal? Maybe Johnny heard something being like, okay, they're out there talking. I don't know if we should be concerned, but I feel like we're on the wrong side of the house this time. Because I definitely do think, past few weeks, I do think it's going to be Katarina, Dawn, and Cameron who are safe. Or Dawn and Cameron who are safe. And there's a good chance that Penny, Corey, and Johnny all have a good opportunity. I mean, Dawn is coming down here to have this conversation. That is kind of where I'm at. Where I feel like... So almost in part of me is like, maybe you should talk to other people because, like, your game relies on it. These are people I would like to win. Okay. There's a bit of romance going on. Dawn has his... I was going to say his fingers in several people, but that sounded really wrong with the implication of romance. Now she's talking to Cameron, and she's pretty close with Cameron based on that bar up there. I still feel like there's like a little bit of pain, like pinch of hurtness, but once again, I don't really think Sims can act upon that is the thing. You know, unlike in Real Big Brother, I feel like Real Big Brother, if you got kicked out of the HoH room, then yeah, I feel like there would be problems to be had. But because this is not Real Big Brother, I don't think those problems can be had. There's like no conversations happening whatsoever. Zero talking. Finally, someone was talking. More people are talking. Sure, Dawn can like jokes, not kind of ready to sleep. And it is time for the Noms Ceremony. So I'll be right back so we can do Noms. Welcome to this week's nomination ceremony. As head of household, Katarina speaking, I have to nominate 2 people for eviction. And let's see who that is. We're all curious. Tell you that much. Starting with good old Cameron. Cameron has a 45 to beat. That's a very high number, so we'll see how everybody else feels. Penny has a 22, which means that she could possibly be the first one up. Dawn has a 70. Okay. Corey has a 14, which also makes her a very high contender. And then we have Johnny, who has a 9. That does mean Corey, please come sit up here. And Johnny, please come sit up here. And with that being said, please let me know in the comments down below who you think will win. Is there anybody on the block that you would rather to see off the block? I'll talk to you guys on next time. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.